Good morning, everyone. As a part of continuation of impressions, mass impressions, in continuation of the previous classes, where we have discussed about, we have ended with starting of a theories of impression making, where we discussed only muco-compressive technique. Second technique is mucostatic or minimal pressure technique, also referred to as passive technique or non-pressure technique, because the name itself implies that mucostatic, the tissues, and the static is the rest position. So tissues record in rest position, but as such, practically speaking, you cannot make an impression without creating any pressure on the tissues. So it is recording, so it is called as minimal pressure technique. It can be called as minimal pressure technique. It is a mucostatic impression technique. It is also called as minimal pressure technique. It was first proposed by Richardson and later popularized by Henry Page. An impression is made with the oral mucous membrane on the jaws in normal, relaxed condition. Generally, for this making impression for this type of technique, impression is made in an oversized or spaced tray with no border seal or water refining. The material used for this type of technique is impression plaster or light body elastomer, etc. This technique results in denture which is closely adapted to the mucosa of denture bearing area but has poor peripheral seal. Dentures have good stability done with this technique but poor retention because of not very good adaptability to the tissues, because we don't give any pressure while recording the impression. Advantage of this technique is high regard for tissue health and preservation. If you are not giving any pressure, it leads to good health of the tissues and preservation of the tissues that doesn't cause any residual resorption or something like that. Suitable to areas where ridges are sharp, thin and flabby, like redundant tissue, anything present on any area which is mobile. The next is disadvantage is poor peripheral seal, because you are not going to deep of the vestibule, depth of the vestibule to record the peripheral seal. So it has a poor peripheral seal. So if you have poor peripheral seal, definitely you are going to end up with poor retention of the tincture. Based on the past pressure, what is past pressure? Is pressure on the confined liquid will be transmitted throughout the liquid in all directions. So this is based on this law. According to this principle, impression metal to be recorded without distortion every detail of the mucosa, so that the complete denture would fit all minute elevations and depressions of the tissue. The separating medium should never be used at any stage, and the main reason for retention in this condition is interstitial surface tension is the factor that is considered retentive factor, and always this technique uses short flanges. It will not go into depth of the vestibule, so it ends up with giving short flanges. This is indicated best suited in flabby ridges and spiny processes where you have any impingement from the ridge area. Main disadvantage of or shortcomings of this technique is mucosa, which has 80% water content, will not react like a liquid in a closed vessel as is Pascal's law. It cannot be compressed. So tissue fluids can easily escape under the borders of the liquid, so it gives less retention. When it escapes from the borders, that means that there is no good peripheral seal. If there is no good peripheral seal, definitely the retention is going to get affected. All minute details recording is worthless because of the dimensional change of the impression metals and costs. Definitely whatever the minor records you are doing with the impression, but there is definitely some dimensional variations or changes in the impression materials and the digital products. It demands the use of metal base because of this disadvantage. It demands the use of metal base, that's chrome alloys or gold alloys, which are which are dimensionally stable than dimensionally unstable acrylics which are using as a denture base material. Infinite details recorded in impression would be lost by the time the denture is finished. Minimized role of musculature, rich coverage and border seal is a shortcoming for this, and ignores the value of dissipating forces over large possible vessel seat area which comes onto the seat area. Next is selective pressure technique, which was proposed by Boucher, the textbook which you are following it in your time here, the author of the textbook. And impression, this technique, as the name implies, says selective pressure. So you're selectively giving pressure in certain areas and you're selectively relieving certain areas. So what are that areas? As you know, in the anatomical landmarks of maxilla or mandible, you have seen there are certain areas which can hold the pressure, that is stress bearing areas, and which cannot hold the stress, that is relief areas. And in stress bearing areas again you have which can bear more amount of stress, that is primary stress bearing area which is given more stress, and which can bear less stress, that is called secondary stress bearing areas. So in this technique you divide that in the different areas, and that areas which can bear the stress is given stress in this technique, that which cannot bear the stress is relieved, and that which can bear little stress is given minimal pressure. In the peripheral area under compression to develop seal, peripheral seal, so that you get the better retention. This is the technique which is most widely accepted technique, and this is technique you are using in your clinic for doing the complete insert cases. This theory is based on thorough understanding of anatomy and physiology of the basal seat and the surrounding area. Here is the idea of tissue preservation is combined with mechanical factor of achieving retention to minimum pressure which is within physiological limits of tissue process. So biological and mechanical factors are balanced here in this technique. So Boucher also advocated maximum extension within the comfort and functional limits of surrounding muscle and tissues. Here the stress bearing areas are recorded with considerable pressure while the relief areas are recorded with minimal pressure. The selective pressure theory remains the still popular theory. Clinical evidence and studies favor this technique. So this is the technique which you are using it in the clinicals. Demerits, however the technique is accepted, there will certain demerits which exist in this technique also, or some areas are recorded under functional load. The denture still faces the potential danger of rebounding and losing retention if that area which are given with functional load rebounds. And this technique cannot be used in a slab ridges because slab ridges doesn't be always in your areas whether it is stress bearing or relieving areas. So it can be used in a slab ridge. With this, the three techniques of recording impression based on pressure is finished. Other technique is open mouth technique, which all these techniques come under open mouth technique only, which when you open the mouth and make the impression, it is not a functional state, you are not recording it in the functional state. The impression is made with right mouth open, and so this because the oral tissue is in a static state with displacement. So the disadvantage of this technique is tissues are not recorded in a functional state. Then the closed mouth technique, say you use it for cases such as atrophic ridges and all, it is used. So vaccines were made on preliminary causes. without doing any impression. Gyrlation is done. After with the gyrlation only, before gyrlation, bottom molding and final impression with mouth closed. Gyrlation. After making gyrlation, you bottom mold it and make the final impression with the mouth closed in the same relation which you have recorded jaw, performing functional movement by the patient. It's a time saving, but overextension can be created in this technique. But the disadvantage of this technique is it is difficult to control the amount of pressure leading to pressure spots. Even occlusal is essential for recording, which may be difficult to establish. It can also produce distorted impression. So this is about open mouth and closed mouth technique. Next is hand manipulated and functional movement, which I told you in bottom we use the functional, active and passive. Hand manipulated is the passive technique and functional movements is the active technique. It's done by the patient. Hand manipulated, which is done by the dentist. Bottom molding is done and impression is made with the hands of the dentist. That is hand manipulated impression. Functional movement impression means functional movements are done by the patient like sucking, grinning, licking, swallowing, etc. With this we come to the end of this topic, that is bottom molding, final impression. So just I'll refresh you what all the steps to be done after the fabrication of the custom tray. After the custom tray is fabricated, it should be checked in the patient's mouth for the extensions of the border leaving 1 to 2 mm from the depth of the vestibule. The tray extension should exist, so that allowing the room for the border molding material. So either with a single step or multiple steps, you take up the material, you do the border molding in all areas with specific instructions of movements, the functional movements and hand manipulated movements in specific all the areas, concerned areas, and then border molding is carried out, the spacer is taken out, and preparing the tray for the secondary impression with placing the holes in particular areas in maxillary and particular areas in the mandible, which acts as the escape vent for the excess material to spread out, get out of the tray, or you can access as a relief area also, but in particular areas. So after that, if it is used as a, and then secondary impression material is mixed, loaded onto the tray and made with the functional movements again the same way, where you have to expose your tissue stop in the custom tray after making your impression. And with the conclusion, always keep in mind the grievance victim. Ideal impression must be in the mind of the dentist before it is in his hands. He must literally make the impression rather than take it. As we always say, impression made, impression can never be taken. And ideal impression should always be in the mind of the dentist before it is in the hands. That is, you have to see the patient's mouth clearly and see the exact replica should be there in your hand, the impression. Thank you. With this, our topic is completed. Stay safe, stay home. Okay, bye.